Hello friends, welcome back to my video number 4. I hope everybody is fine and safe. So I've been a little away because of some important office work as everybody is working from home. So I was a little stuck up in some urgent matters, but yes, I'm back again. So this is my 4th video, and today's video is on the background of insolvency and bankruptcy code. Yes, so I thought I will just brief you the concept of insolvency and bankruptcy code before we move on to the sections. Okay, so we should understand the meaning of 3 words in this, you can say the IBC, the insolvency word, okay, bankruptcy and liquidation. So 3 words, it is very important to understand the meanings. Okay, so let's start with the insolvency. So as defined by the United Nations Commission on International Trade Law, okay, so they have issued a legislative guidance on insolvency law. So that guidance note defines insolvency as when the debtor generally unable to pay its debts as they mature or its liabilities exceed the value of its assets. Okay, so this is what the legislative guidance defines as insolvency. Okay, so in other words, insolvency is a term for when an individual or organization can no longer meet its financial obligation to its lenders as debts become due. So it is very simple. When an individual or an organization can't pay its financial dues when it is when they mature, then it is termed as insolvency. Okay, so you have to keep in mind insolvency doesn't mean that the company is about to be closed. Okay, so insolvency means it is a situation where an organization or an individual is unable to pay its financial obligations, but yes, there are ways by which they can come out of this situation. Okay, so let's see what further we have to say here for insolvency. So insolvency is a state of financial distress in which someone is unable to pay their bills. Okay, it can lead to insolvency proceedings in which legal action will be taken against the insolvent entity, and assets may be liquidated to pay off outstanding dues. Okay, so as you go further in the act, so you will understand insolvency is the first step. Okay, and the next step is the resolution. Okay, it's not always the liquidation or the bankruptcy. The next step to insolvency is resolution. That is the beauty of this act. Okay, so I will not read all the words words by word, so we'll just move ahead with the meaning of bankruptcy. Okay, so what is bankruptcy? Bankruptcy is a legal proceeding involving a person or business that is unable to repay their outstanding debts. Okay, the bankruptcy process begins with a petition filed by the debtor, which is most common, or on behalf of the creditors. Okay, so obviously bankruptcy can be, you can say, self-declared, you can say self-resolution, or where a debtor can itself go and voluntarily file for bankruptcy. Another is the bankruptcy filed by the creditors. Okay, now what is the meaning of the word liquidation? Okay, so again, according to the legislative guidance on the insolvency law issued by UNCITRAL. Okay, so what the liquidation means: a proceeding to sell or dispose of the assets of the debtors for the distribution to creditors as per the insolvency law. Okay, suppose when entity enters into the insolvency, and if the resolution plan is not approved, okay, then the next step is the liquidation of the entity. Okay, so you can say this is the last step, and the organization moves towards the end of its life. Okay, so what is why we use these different terms, bankruptcy and liquidation? So bankruptcy word is for individuals, and liquidation is for body company or a body corporate. Okay, so now let's get to the background of the insolvency and bankruptcy code. Okay, so the story starts from 1990s. Okay, where everybody knows that globalization, you will say LPG, liberalization, privatization, globalization. Okay, so all economic, you can say, development started from 1990s and 91. Okay, so for any organization, there are 3 types of freedom which they require to flourish in any economy. Okay, the first is the free entry, which is to start the business. Okay, the second is to continue the business, so they need free competition. Okay, so no monopolistic environment in the market. And third is to discontinue the business. Yes, this free exit. Okay, so in 1990s, all the liberal policies introduced by the government gave the first type of freedom to entities, that is free entry. Okay, and in 2000 the Competition Act was passed. So that ensured that the Competition Act ensured that the market provides free competition to all the players. Okay, and the monopolistic environment was abolished in 2000. Okay, now this IBC plays a very important role as far as the third freedom is concerned. As far as third freedom is concerned, free exit. Okay, so the IBC, the object of IBC, and you can say the idea of the IBC is to provide this third freedom of exit. Okay, so what we'll just go through some of the paras which are very interesting. Okay, so read from here. A failure generally manifests as defaults in payment obligations which led to insolvency. It is imperative to prevent insolvency, but when it cannot be prevented, it is necessary to resolve it. Where resolution is neither possible nor desirable, the entity needs to exit with least disruption and cost, with release of resources for fresh allocation. Okay, so the exit must be free without much disruption and cost, and the remaining resources should be made available to the fresh allocations or the fresh entrepreneurs. Okay, so if we understand, before IBC, the law regarding insolvency was little fragmented. Like there were too many laws and too many adjudicating authorities. Okay, so just to name a few, we had SARFASI, we had Companies Act, we have Companies Act still, but 1956 was the act. Now it is 2013. We had SICA, the Sikh Industrial Companies Special Provisions Act, which was repealed. Okay, for the insolvency, individual insolvency and bankruptcy, Presidential Town Insolvency Act and the Provincial Insolvency Act 1920, which were almost century old, they still exist. Okay, sorry, they still existed before this IBC was introduced. Now all these laws were consolidated into IBC because all these laws were not giving the desired results. Okay, because there were too many adjudicating authority, too many procedures which were giving, you can say, which were amounted to delay in you can say the resolving the issue, the insolvent organization or the individuals. Okay, and ultimately these insolvency and liquidation proceedings have effect on the credit market and ultimately the economy. Okay, because the credit players like banks and financial institution, they know that there is a difficulty in recovery of the debts when company goes into liquidation. So always the credit market was not very healthy, and the institutions were little hesitant to give credits. So that was the one more objective of the IBC. When you read, if you read the BLRC report, okay, BLRC report, we will read it later. So it has very beautifully given the explanation. What was the scenario of the market at that time? Now after ABC, what is expected, and what are the changes that government is expecting in the market. Okay, so moving on to the object. This is very important. So this is the full para which you will get from the act. So I will not read it. I have just, you can say, I have broken it down for some layers. It is easy to read and understand. Okay, so object is to consolidate and amend. Now, okay, so what to consolidate and amend? The laws relating to reorganization and insolvency resolution of, okay, corporate persons, partnership firms and individuals. Okay, so consolidate and amend laws relating to reorganization and insolvency resolution of corporate persons, partnership firm and individuals in a time bound manner. Okay, for, now what is the purpose? For maximization of values of assets of such persons to promote entrepreneurship, availability of credit, balance of interest of all the stakeholders, okay, and including alteration in order of priority of payments of government. So generally the payment dues, the dues of the government get priority in all the claims, but as far as the IBC is concerned, the priority of payments to government can be altered, okay. And the last object is to establish the Insolvency Bankruptcy Board of India, okay. So this is the object of the IBC. So you may get some, you can say 1 or 2 questions out of this objects of the IBC, okay. Now, what are the 4 pillars of IBC? Okay, so these are the 4 pillars of IBC: the insolvency professional, information utility, adjudicating authority, and Insolvency Bankruptcy Board of India. So these are the 4 pillars of the IBC. Okay, now let's look at the journey of the IBC, how the IBC evolved, what are the process it went through. So looking at this word journey, there's a very wonderful article written by Shri M.S. Sahu, A Journey of Endless Hope. Okay, so if I get time, we will cover this article also, and it has a very important points mentioned as far as the IBC is concerned, and Mr. Sahu has given, you can say, crux of many landmark judgments which were passed in the insolvency and bankruptcy proceedings. Okay, so first is 28th April 2014. So Bankruptcy Law Reform Committee was constituted. Okay, then the 4th November 2015, BLRC submitted its reports to Government of India. Then 21st December 2015, the bill on IBC 2015 introduced in Lok Sabha. 23rd December 2015, the bill was referred to Joint Committee of both the Houses of Parliament. 28th April 2016, Joint Committee placed its reports on IBC in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. 5th May 2016, bill on IBC 2016 was passed by Lok Sabha. Then 11th May 2016, it was passed in Rajya Sabha. And 28th May, assented by President of India, published in the Gazette. Okay, so 2 very important dates for us is 4th November 2015, where BLRC submitted reports to government to submitted its report to Government of India, 4th November 2015, and one is 28th May, when the assent was received from the President. Okay, so this is the journey of the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. So with this, I would like to end my today's video. This is the small introduction to the IBC. If you need notes and if this PDF, so please come and join my Telegram channel. The link is given in the description. And from the next video, I will be starting from section 1. So first I will cover section 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and after that we'll move to 4, 5, and slowly, and then we'll move to the actual, you can say, very important sections, section 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so friends, see you again. I will come back with my video number 5 very shortly. Thank you for watching. Please keep yourself safe, and don't forget to like and comment, and please share this video with your colleagues and with your friends, and tell them to subscribe and hit the bell icon so that they'll get the notification whenever I post a new video. Okay, thank you for today. Have a nice day. Bye.